1 Kings 19, 4 through 7. But he himself went a day's journey into the wilderness and came and sat down under a juniper tree. And he requested for himself that he might die, and said, "It is enough now. O Lord, take away my life, for I am not better than my fathers." And as he lay and slept under a juniper tree, behold, then an angel touched him and said unto him, "Arise and eat." And he looked, and behold, there was a cake baken on the coals, and a cruse of water at his head. And he did eat and drink, and laid him down again. And the angel of the Lord came a second time and touched him, and said, "Arise and eat, because the journey is too great for thee." And I just want to talk for a second about the work that we have to do after the break. So Elijah had just had the standoff that we all know about with the prophets of Baal and the Lord, and they both built altars. And he had this, what looked like a great victory. God consumed his sacrifice, consumed his altar, while nothing happened to Baal's altar. Baal was silent. He did nothing. And you would think after that happened, it would be a time to celebrate. But instead, Elijah became kind of depressed afterwards. Some say that's because he expected a great number of conversions to happen after everybody saw Baal did nothing and my God did this great thing, that all these conversions would happen. And when it didn't happen that way, Elijah wanted to give up, maybe. He was, whatever it was that caused his melancholy, he sat down under that juniper tree and he said, "God, just let me die. Just kill me. I don't want to do this anymore." The man whose prayers had stopped the rain, and then he prayed again, and the rains came. The man who said, "God, consume this altar or consume the sacrifice," and he not only consumed the sacrifice, but the altar and everything around it. That man, that prayer warrior, he needed a minute. So I think we need to give ourselves a break when we need a minute. When the journey's too hard for us, we don't need to be hard on ourselves and say, well, it didn't take that person as long to get over it. It doesn't matter. We need a minute. It's okay to take a minute. I don't know if any of you have heard of Ina the bear. Has anybody heard of Ina? Ina's kind of a famous story because she was kept in captivity for 20 years. In a cage so small that she almost couldn't turn around. And she was kept there for 20 years with another bear. So when she was finally set free, she was sent to a sanctuary where she could run and play, and you would think that's what she's going to do, right? But instead she did this, and Eli, can you put that picture up? This is what she did for 7 years. She walked in a circle the same size as her cage. Even though she was free, she was just as much a prisoner as when she was in chains, because in her mind she was still bound. It took her a while. It took her 7 years. And all the people that were working with her could have given up on her at any time and said, "This is no life for a bear. Let's just put her out of her misery." But they had hope for her. And she did eventually break free from that. If we didn't know her story, we would just say, "Okay, stupid bear, look behind you. Look at the woods. It's all right there. You can go find berries." But it didn't matter. All her invisible chains kept her just as bound. All the good intentions, all the wishes of the caretakers couldn't set her free. She couldn't be set free until she had her breakthrough. And we could similarly look at Elijah and say, what is his problem? God answers his prayers in such a mighty way. He doesn't answer my prayers like that. What does he have to complain about? But sometimes it's easy to look at someone like that and think that they shouldn't have the same kind of struggles that we have. But it's easy for everyone to get trapped in disappointment. He was disappointed there wasn't conversion. We've all been disappointed about something. We've all been sad about something. We've all had regret about something. And we can understand that when we look at it that way. We can understand being stuck there. But we also can look at it and say, but you can't stay there forever. Eventually, it's going to be time to move on. Those angels came and they ministered to Elijah more than once. They brought him food. In fact, the scripture said it was by his head. He was so done that they had to put the water right by his head so that he could just reach over and get it. And I'll tell you, there's been times where I was walking to my car and I just barely had the strength to even open the door and go do what I had to do. And I said, God, I remember one time I stood next to my car door and I said, I don't think I'll always feel this way. Maybe I will, but I don't think I will. But even if I do, I'm going to love you just the same, and I'm going to serve you just the same. And I said it out loud so the devil could hear it too. There's going to be, whatever our struggles are, there's going to be a time when they end, and then there's going to be work for us to do. So one thing while we're in the struggles to remember is that, and somebody that was writing about Ina wrote this, maybe there are things to be learned until the moment you're set free. And those things that we can learn in those dark times, we can't learn as easily when it's sunny. There's things that we can learn about ourselves when we're in the middle of the battle. When we're the one beneath the juniper tree, it's easy. It would be easy to grow bitter towards him, but if we do that, then we're not going to be ready for the work he has when it's over. We need to consciously keep our mind on him and consciously stay faithful to him in the middle of that battle and not forget who we are in him. He doesn't hate you because you're in a battle. He didn't hate Elijah when he was resting beneath the juniper tree. He didn't hate Ina when Ina was stuck in a circle for 7 years. So when we're the one that's in there, we need to stay faithful. When we see a sister walking in circles, or we see a brother sitting beneath a juniper tree, we can be like Ina's caregivers and just silently root them on from the sidelines and never give up that the breakthrough is coming. And we can be like God's angels and minister to them in whatever way God leads us to do. And never give up on the hope that their breakthrough is coming. We can do that for them. They can do that for us. And then we can all be ready for the work that comes when the breakthrough comes.